death, hearing all about how I'm less than deserving, less than a human being. Say what you want, and you know that I hear it. Loose lips sink ships, where's your captain now? Well, my head's in a vice, and you're pulling it tighter. Say hello to the martyr in me.
We are done with the scream rock on the job site. That's it. It's banned. Don't try and play it on the radio anymore. All that screaming like type rock stuff, it's gone. Job site said no more, dude. Absolutely no more. You guys are out of control with this scream rock. That's not rock music, dude. Seriously.
And we are back with another freaking episode of the With Conviction show. What's going on, guys? How we doing today?
We're doing
good.
good.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
Very good, very good, very good. We have very special guests on today. We have Melissa and William from Sepsiss. International status up in here. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm going to get an anime wow in the background here.
Wow.
Sheesh. We have a little soundboard that I can hear and like everybody else can hear, but like nobody in Discord can hear it. So I get to have all the fun, and you guys just get to assume that we're having fun. You know?
Yeah. That's super cool.
Looks like we got AJ House hopping in the stream.
What's up?
Not a minute too late, bro. All right, well, fuck. Yeah, we're here, back at it. We have so much planned for today. Actually, today's show is brought to you 100% by Larry Smith here with us today, hanging out.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, Larry?
What's up, Larry?
Hey.
Not much.
Larry Smith is the guy. He's booked a couple of our guests in the past. We had Kyle from Late Night. We had
Aaron from Light.
I was gonna say Andrew again. We had Aaron from Lyran XR, and yeah, no. So every time that Larry brings a guest on, he has first off very well thought out questions, and awesome guests. And so we're pretty happy to have Melissa and William here today. and I'm surprised I haven't forgotten anybody's names yet. And I'm doing pretty good, I think. So we're on a roll. We're on a freaking roll.
A great start.
Why don't you guys tell us a little bit about yourselves, where you're from, and how long you guys have been a band? Because I've done a little bit of snooping, but I think it's nicer if you got to kind of share with everybody, a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name's Melissa Wolf, and I am the lead vocalist for Sepsiss. Do a lot of singing on my end.
Yes. So Melissa sings clean vocals, and sometimes I help her out if there's such help that she needs. I wouldn't say so much as she needs help. Really, is that I get requested to sing time and time
It's
again.
support.
So
You lift her up. You lift her up,
I'm
right?
the support role. I'm by no means a lead singer of the band or a separate singer. We've been described as a duo in the past,
Plenty of times.
or a duet, I should say. But
Do you
we're
like
not,
that
we're
or no?
not,
I do.
You
I
do,
like
yeah.
that.
I'm impartial. You know what I mean? It's like, well, so I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't, because I don't plug myself as a singer really. I'd rather plug myself as a vocalist or a sidekick in this project. I really would.
I just absolutely love how the female and male vocal just tend to bounce off of
We
each
sing
other.
counterpart too, which I think fucks people up a lot. So
Yeah.
if you get a lot of people that do harmonies, they're singing at majors and minor thirds or fifths. We tend to go head to head, like dueling dragons.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
It's like when our vocals are put together, it almost makes like its own chord.
We kind of do like dyads and shit with our voice. So we try to unique ways to use our voice with each other, rather than just singing a line by ourselves. Kind of adding or embellishing on the intended note.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
In a
And you
musical
also play the
way.
guitar too, right?
I do, which is why I wasn't going to shoot my mouth off about singing because it's really difficult.
Did you walk into the project guitars first, and then it was like something that was like allowed to be discovered within yourself to be the singer and screamer as well, or was that like?
Wow, that's a very good question because Melissa kind of forced me into the position. I really didn't know how to. I really didn't. So I joke with my friends and stuff like that, and I'm an old school guy. I grew up, on Pantera and Megadeth and bands like that. I skipped out on the new metal era. I didn't know much about it. When scene metal came in and gang vocals and dancing came in, I really got interested in making music, and that's when we started Sepsiss so long ago. And we just couldn't get anybody to join the band. We just were really a terrible sounding band. We were
Bro,
funny.
been there, okay? Can relate.
And that's not to say that we sound, perfect or anything, but we didn't get into music or interest in music to write perfect music. We wanted to write music that we loved. And when we started out, we couldn't make music that we loved. We couldn't create music that we loved. It all sounded really, really bad.
What's it been, like 11 years now or something?
Yup, it's been 11 years was our magical number. But we were there one day and we couldn't stick any members. Nobody was interested in what we were doing, and that's kind of because we didn't have anything. We didn't really know who we are, and anything that felt metal or anything that we thought was metal was what we were gonna do. And it really kind of screwed us up for a while because it challenged all the ideas that everybody knows us for now. So it's really funny years later us embracing ourselves and kind of just embracing our cultural backgrounds and kind of allowing ourselves to clear space in our own heads and make a lot of mistakes. But it was Melissa that came to me first and said, hey man, we're gonna need a screamer. And I said, well, why is that? I don't understand why we would need a screamer. She goes, it'd just be great if we had parts of the songs. A lot of the music at that time was dominated in the clubs. All the bands that we played with at the time, nobody sang cleans. So this was a really...
Yeah, that was a pretty rare
Everybody had 8 or 9 strings on their guitars. Everybody was doing math and tricks and it was and it was a very confusing and angry time and mathematical academic time in math, and we didn't fit into that. We couldn't play very well, we didn't sing very well, we were extremely pitchy, we were clumsy, we looked funny we had a bunch of girls with us, we
We've
wore
been
different
through
colors,
so many
we
different
we had a lot
lineup
of female
changes.
fans.
I want to say there's been like maybe 29 band members
Yeah.
since we started.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what took us so long to even release
Me
our first
screaming was a
full-length
result
album.
of nobody wanting to join the band, and Melissa really wanting Screams to be in there, and me mimicking poorly and hurting my throat.
I was like, could you please do it?
And I
She's
would
like,
admit,
she's like, you know how to scream. You're like, I don't know how to scream. She looks at you like,
right,
you know how to
right.
scream.
I knew how to turn the guitar as loud as I possibly could.
And now look at
and
you.
try to. Everything's a process, though. I'm still learning. The cool thing about being in this band is we always our goal was to create headroom in the sonic design. So we are very glad to report to you that we don't think that we're that good or anything like that. So we're working hard on getting better at everything. So
Man,
time.
can I, if I could really quickly, I first off appreciate the shit out of the candid honesty about your humble beginnings. You know what I mean? Because if we're gonna sit here and talk about humble beginnings and like we also started off in a band not really knowing how to write the music that we wanted to create. We also, I mean, we haven't been around for 11 years. We started in 2015.
That's solid.
And like,
That's solid.
we didn't know, and it was like, like we were just like, yeah, we want it to be heavier, and we also want it to be emo, and like, but we didn't. Do we know how to make what we were thinking in our brains? No. Are we getting to that point? Every day we get a little bit closer. Are we there yet? No, absolutely not. So I appreciate the crap out of that, kind of humble beginnings.
It's
story
like not
there.
going to culinary art school or something like that, and then trying to open up a white. It's like trying to open up a white glove top Mediterranean open kitchen restaurant and with all this fancy. I mean, you just from everything down to the recipes and the menu and how to clean the place and how to keep the books right. I mean, we were just a fucking mess. But there's a part of that. There's a double-edged sword there. I can't say that it wasn't predictable. I can't say that it wasn't a predictable course until about. We talk all this 2010 stuff, 2011 stuff, but I need to also make it perfectly clear that we didn't set out to make a professional record. We didn't even know that was a possibility for people like us. We didn't have any money. We were living in a ghetto. We were homeless. We were sleeping in cars. I come from the streets. I come from institutions and courtrooms and foster care and all kinds of crazy and the whole group has got just quite a variety of backgrounds, ages and sizes and repertoires of their own. But when me and Melissa started the band, we didn't set out and go, okay, here's the expectation or here's the goal. We're going to try to go to Warped Tour or go to get a record deal. Or we didn't have bands that we looked up to, really. There was music that we like. We very much, unlike a lot of bands, we weren't looking for collaborations or we weren't looking to get on the Warped Tour stage. Our goals in the beginning was to exist, to be authentic, to start off on our street. And not worry so much about what was happening in other cities or other states or down the block. We wrote out a time length and a plan, a very small plan, said, let's create a band. Let's have a name. Let's create some ledgers. How do you do this? And we made a lot of mistakes. But I want to make it clear that we didn't start off on I hate using this word really, but we didn't have the lineup or the professional sandbox to move forward with a project that we were willing to present publicly to people until we had some demo work in 2017 and we completed our lineup. And it was at that point where we really felt, okay, maybe it's time to kind of figure out what we want to be when we grow up, so to speak. We're growing up obviously, but the mentality, for the creative presentation, it's time to stick the notes and decide, is this going to be a flat? Are we going to sing this note? Are we going to put together a record ever. You know, because I mean, up until that point, we had played hundreds of gigs. We've been nominated for regional and local awards, and we've lost every band, battle of the bands.
I mean, yeah, really, it's only been a few years since we've tried to be professional.
We've never we
Just
never
a few.
had the guts, and the courage to really step out and present ourselves until we had a lineup that we could trust, and that couldn't happen until me and Melissa made a lot of mistakes. That's for real. That musically and otherwise, you really
You
find
learn
out.
and you grow.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. This is a growing band, and it still is.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that again, the authenticity is fucking awesome there. I appreciate that. Boots is climbing over my shoulder right now. Do you guys see
No,
this?
you got a dope cat. He's like I'm in this.
He's like,
period.
yeah, this is actually my show. Can you guys, okay, please, okay? No, but I'm seeing a lot of similarities of the whole, like, just between your story and ours. Like, us two, we all come from different backgrounds and stuff, and we have things in the past that motivate us, if you will, to just be better than we were yesterday, kind of thing, And a lot of our music is about that, and I'm sure I did a little bit of snooping with you guys, and I've checked out. Yesterday, anyways, I watched Yesterday's at Me. I watched the Blacklight Invasion music video. To write Hate on His Arms, and then I watched a couple of your guys' live stuff too, and I'm sensing that maybe you guys have a bit of a message as well, some sort of a story that you're trying to portray and kind of send out to the world, and am I wrong in saying that, or?
It's really accurate, because I think that's something that we were really afraid of for a long time, is really to have a open book and open conversation policy with our art. We had a lot of trouble writing in the beginning, because we had a lot of trouble living, completing the cycle, kind of cleaning our plate, as far as artists and the way we were living. So until we cleaned up a lot of the way that we were living, and our lifestyles and got our goals, organized, it was really hard to express and come up with the English and organize, once again, a comprehensive presentation as far as like what we were going to say. And we always had a joke, that we were a band that wrote about everything and nothing. And I look back on that, and because we're kind of a yin yang Alan Watt kind of band, but no tongue in cheek, that it seems kind of silly looking back, because now we really do have a message. But we couldn't have a message unless we went through that pain, you know what I mean? Unless we went through that living. And, there's so many layers and layers of our lives that go into our music now.
Yeah.
That, if it wasn't for all that living, I don't think that we could make any music, to be honest with you. And I in the beginning, when you're looking for yourself and you're trying to find a sonic fingerprint and you're trying to have an identity, you say things like that, like, yeah, man, we write about everything and nothing, and beer and shit and sex and fucking pussy, and, you know what I mean? And we were very much that kind of band. You know what I mean? When we didn't sound good, we started fights. You know what I mean? When we didn't, you know what I mean? When there wasn't enough tickets to be sold, you know what I mean? People jumped the gate. We drank too much. We all slept on the floor. We you know what I'm saying? We never got paid. I mean, it was a mess. But
Wait. You guys started getting paid at some point? What?
yeah, well, not it's not like we're making a crazy living off of it.
No,
I mean,
I'm
like,
fucking with you.
no, we might get some. People ask us that all the time. Like, wow, you guys get paid? We managed to make 90% of our shows paid this year.
Hey, fuck yeah, dude. Honestly, I mean, like,
I didn't.
people ask me
You'll
that
never
too. They're like,
find
"Oh, do you get paid from your band? Do you get paid from your music?" And I'm like, it's so much of a passion at this point, and a business that the business has to get to a certain point first. So you need to continuously, if you make money, it's going back in,
Yes, I was about to say, we wear many hats and we don't make shit. You know what I'm saying? So like we work a lot and we wear many hats, and there's many departments regarding that. So that's a whole nother tier of information. But there's so many different working parts to sepsis, and nobody ever sleeps ever. It's definitely a 7 day.
We're all a bunch of hard workers.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
On all fronts, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In society, as far as just like being generous and helping people and giving to people. This is a band that is working with and for people all the time, and that's why I love these folks. But yeah, man, no, until we really lived, until we went through some pain, and some of that stuff is scary stuff, the kind of stuff you read about or you see on HBO,
Yeah.
murders and pandemics and deaths and having to sprinkle people's ashes and just the whole
The band at the time was going through a lot of living,
God,
so to speak.
Mhm.
We were going through some losses at the time when Yesterday Isn't Me came out. William lost his mother. I recently lost my brother. And the song slowly came out after that.
Yeah.
So
It
the
wasn't.
song
It wasn't
is
even
about-
intended to be released. We weren't even really gonna.
Not like that.
Yeah.
but-
It was more of a. Go ahead, Melissa. I'm
Yeah,
sorry to cut
so
you
it's
off.
okay. The song's really about the living and the way that people think about death, you know? The way people are taught and influenced to neglect the spiritual world, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
It's really about like celebrating the people you love and how much we mean to each other, and the fact that we can't forget that.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, much of that is also like not living in the past and not holding grudges, not casting blame on people. We've really turned ourselves into, I don't know when the hell it happened, but we turned ourselves into this like kind of like uplifting band. I really never really pictured us being like that, but a lot of our lyrics, as we've matured, have been more encouraging or inspirational than some of the stuff that we wrote as kids, So you'll hear a lot of stuff on our older stuff that is like a kid with a big loud guitar and a girl that is really ambitious, and it plays out in a lot of our older songs. But I think in our newer material, you're hearing much more sophisticated thinking and cerebral Sepsiss. I don't think you're gonna lose the rock. I don't think you're gonna lose the pop. I don't think you're gonna lose the dancing. I don't think you're gonna lose the edge. I mean, we definitely believe in keeping it aggressive, and with our new material as well as our old, we really it is in our nature to be really unique. That is not a gimmick. That is not something we do. We're not really an experimental band, but really we challenge ourselves to play rock and roll and heavy metal a little bit differently.
You want to be the sore thumb that stands out is basically what I'm picking up, right?
It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
We didn't plan on that. That's really us. We really when we figured out.
We really wanted to do our own thing.
And when we figured out how to play this music, we went, "Oh my God, this is the music." Is it our favorite music? No. And is it perfect music? No. And have we written our best song? No. But we're not in the business of writing perfect music. So, but what is this music to us? This music it represents our family, our unity, and our commitment to each other, the craft, our love for making music, our love for the scene, our love for the sport, our love for the competition, our contribution to being original, to being unique, to making human generated music. I know that's a rare thing now. We do have a keyboard.
Respect, though, yeah, respect.
We get on stage, and we have 6 pieces in the band, so we don't do a lot of computers or a lot of technology up there. This is stuff. If we hit a bad note, you might hear us hit a bad note. You might see somebody trip over a mic cord. This is real deal. We're up there. We're physical. We treat this like a sport, and we treat this like fucking wrestling. When we get in there, we move. We take our time putting together our outfits. There's a lot that we take.
Wardrobe is huge with Sepsiss.
Preparation and prioritizing our fans and being active with them every day. This is a complete lifestyle for us. This is something that saved my life.
We are writing our second album too, as of like right now.
Yeah, and
And we're gonna call it "Take the World by Swarm."
Yeah, and I think it'll be a little bit more sophisticated. But as I said, this you can't if you can't dance to our music, it's not us.
I want to say you can really hear our growth in this one, for sure.
Yeah.
We've tried some different techniques like belt notes, whispers, chants, cheers, grunts.
As many
that
kind of
stuff.
vocally, shit that we could have fun with.
We are bringing back the lullabies.
Yeah,
too.
we got lullabies and pre-choruses and bridges and shit that people have kind of like and know about us. We always have a dance part.
There's always a breakdown.
It's kind of urban-y, disco-y, and screams and harmonies have been requested on this album again, so there'll be that. We try to listen to our fans as much as possible.
Do you guys do all your own recording and stuff?
So we track everything here at Toy Box Studios in Nashua, New Hampshire. Our keyboard player is actually a pretty well-known regional rapper. He's also he's just on hundreds of thousands. He's what we call like a market rapper. So he's a commercial rapper. He raps on like voiceovers and like those weird like raps you hear at the mall and shit, like when you're going through the mall and you're like, what the fuck is that dude rapping about? And
So he's getting paid a little bit.
He raps about like toothpaste or fucking whatever.
Yeah.
He also does like features with all the big regional and local acts around here. He calls himself the Black Juggalo. He's really into like the Juggalo scene, and he's also, believe this or not, he's a professional battle rapper. So
Okay,
he
respect.
battle raps people. Yeah, so he goes out in the city, in the hood, and he screams in people's faces, and it's pretty interesting to watch. You can go look it up. So we cheer him on doing that sort of thing. But aside from doing all these things, we call him the Wizard because he actually owns a small media company downtown where we live, and that's where he records R&B artists and rap artists. So that's why we do a lot of our video. And we make a lot of content ourselves. Melissa's a streamer, cosplayer.
He's like our technology guy.
But everybody in the band we're like the fucking Ninja Turtles. Everybody in the band kind of has their bag of tricks, so to speak.
And they all come together to create this one, harmonious thing.
Yeah, we're like the United Nations of rock and roll or some shit. We're all different ages. We all have different soup, man. We all kind of come from different backgrounds.
Will work on like hair, wardrobe, makeup. I've even been known to design some of our clothing.
Yeah, we have a fucking video game community, Twitch community that we game with.
There's a lot.
We do cooking shows and all kinds of shit. So we've really made this experience. Sepsiss is kind of the music is more. It's become more of a backdrop to the community, less of a band. And you know what I mean? It's really gone down that road, and there's no time length to it. We don't really. We're not trying to get a Grammy. We're not measuring ourselves, saying when do we get. We're not really looking to get to big festivals. They're trying, and the reason why people ask why we don't do that a lot, is that's because we really have been. We've been offered a lot of record deals, and we've been offered a lot of invitations to corporate projects and participation, and a lot of it is they've asked for our money, you know what I'm saying, in the past, whether it's submission fees or there's always something, and
$30,000 and we can own your music for 10 years.
Right, and we've made mistakes like that, and let me make it clear, we've done all the buy-ons, we've hung out with the celebrities. Some of our friends are hard-working celebrities, we love them, shout out to them. We've had awesome management that we've had to fire. You know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, there's people, out there that are buying into that rock and roll package. And when we were kids, we really did that. We did all the battle of the bands, and we did all the battle for this tour, and and we did all the money, and we've been ripped off and chumped and picked on and made fun of. Somebody, you know what I mean? You get to, and then, you grow up and you're like, why the hell are we doing this? And we figured out the real reason why we do this is because we love music, and we love people, man. We like people, and a lot of metal is angry, or they do demons or devils or different stuff, or politics, and I think there's definitely a place for that. I love all those bands. I listen to those bands. I support those bands. And I have a wide variety of metal that I like. And I don't make my favorite kind of metal. I don't make my favorite kind of rock and roll. But but this band, it made itself. The community made itself, and I gotta say that I'm in love with what these people are doing. I've seen the way that they've changed each other's lives. It's very addicting to watch these people have fun with their lives and continue to experience the most of what we've created, and that's the reason why we really keep on doing it.
Fuck yeah. You know, I gotta agree too with all, like, you know, we're with Conviction is also a metal band, if you will. And
Right. I say that and don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, like, trust. The tree of metal is so large. I think it's fair to just say metal. You know what I mean? I think that's pretty fair. But we don't really, you know, associate with the demonic shit or the, you know, hail meth and smoke Satan bullshit and stuff. And not that, you know, that's all cool. There's a huge market for that. It's super trendy. It's edgy. We love it. We love those bands. We listen to all that kind of shit too. But in the same breath, like, I think in a similar sense to you guys, we use our music to communicate with people. You know what I mean? And to have conversations, share our stories, and you know, like, I wouldn't say that the music is a backdrop for us, but we also definitely put out more live streams than we do music, and we definitely, you know what I mean, do more hangouts with our people and stuff than we put out. I mean, we've only been able to scrape by putting out a single a year for the last few years through COVID and all that shit, because it costs a lot of money.
Though, as a modern musician, I honestly tip my hat to you guys for having a strategy and something that works well for you, because you survived it, and bands that are surviving it are honestly, to me, proof that this is all very much worth it for the human beings that have invested themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I couldn't, my God. I mean, there was a point when I might have said, oh man, this isn't a thing to me. This is just rock and roll. This is just this. And, you know, I said in the beginning, Sepsiss has been my best friend, you know, for the last 10 years. You know, I suffered from alcohol abuse. You know, we talk about demons and devils. You know, we've seen and experienced, you know, murders in our family recently. We've you know, put people to rest recently, and you know, I grew up in an extremely bloody and violent, abusive lifestyle. So you know, getting to the consciousness and wisdom that I'm at, and with my children getting older and my friends getting older, and us being young enough to be conscious about life, I gotta spend some of my time trying to add value to the human experience.
I love that. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I gotta say really quickly too, is that you guys are extremely easy to talk to, which is very nice. I love it. It's good.
Hey, thanks, man.
I'm gonna. I know Larry has prepared. Yeah, hell yeah. Larry's definitely prepared a couple questions for you guys, and before we run out of time or anything like that, I'd like to give the floor over to him, because
sure.
I mean, this means a lot to him.
I forgot. We were just everything's so natural.
I know, right? So Larry, if you want to take over, you want to ask a couple questions, go ahead, bro.
How far are you guys? Anyway, you guys need to come out here, man.
We are north AF.
Canada.
Yeah.
Canada, Alberta.
That's not even that far from New Hampshire, though, is it?
New Hampshire.
Well, Canada itself, no. Alberta, it's on the west side, so kind of ish.
Ooh,
we're on the other side of the continent.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys are far.
We're north of like Colorado and Washington. Montana.
I'll tell you what, this shit ain't impossible with us.
Nah, dog, for real. Sure. Like, you know, like, we want to do some shit, so let's talk, you know what I'm saying? But all right, Larry, take over, baby.
So, Blacklight Invasion, is that song about aliens? Like, when you were writing it, you're like, let's write about aliens, but let's not actually mention aliens. Or what were you writing about for Blacklight Invasion?
So yes, there are some alien and supernatural themes in there, but we also snuck in a little bit of Alan Watt.
Yeah, there's some. We're always doing like this consciousness philosophy stuff. I think Blacklight was one of the first songs that we wrote, and and just the abusive 16th note hi-hats. We were feeling real disco-y, and she came up, she hit me with the name, and she said, we're going to write about aliens and me getting abducted. And I said,
really
you know what
do
everyone's
write about
gonna...
everything, I promise.
And I said, you know, this is going to bring up some interesting ideas for people. And,
We have an alien song too, actually. It's kind of
It
fun.
ultimately was about letting go of the ego.
yeah, that's an ego killer song.
Fuck yeah.
What's this Swarmy event that you have coming up in November, I believe it is? Or October? The Swarmy Fest?
So it was supposed to be like a make-believe thing. We were on Twitch one day, and you know, somebody had made and our fans are called Swarmies because we have a group, the Swarm.
There you go.
Our mascot is our murder hornets. So like wasps, hornets. It's kind of you know, a spin-off of what we do. So it's a spin-off like mascot. And our video game community, Immaculate Connection, also has a wasp emblem. So it ties into the Sepsiss lore. So the community during the lockdowns decided to call themselves the Swarmies because we had the group, the Swarm. We had a Facebook group called the Swarm, and in this group, it's really a group hosted by us, the band, and our fans. And it's what it's for is to promote discovery and encourage independent small businesses, creators, streamers, podcasters. We really were excited during the pandemic and during the lockdowns to add as many people as we could to it that were creating, that were sharing live streams, because we wanted a place that was like safe where people could go and rap or dance, or I mean, we've had everything from clowns and pole dancers, and of course
they can share their entertainment.
Right, without being bashed, without being kicked in the head over it, without being, you know, judged. It's a place where if people didn't like your stuff, they had to shut the fuck up, or we kicked them out. I mean, we just made it easy. If you were mean to people, you were gone. You know what I mean? And we've just kept it that way. The only rules is to, you know, leave everybody alone, basically. You know, treat people as you'd expect to be treated. And it's always been a safe, predictable place on the internet because we're running out of them. There's no ads. We don't want anything. And we basically created a place where we open up a large part of our fan base, our organic fan base, and we invite, you know, new bands or rappers or comedians, and it started off kind of as a, you know, lockdown thing, but, you know, it's got 10,000 strong in it, plus the Discord, and it's grown to such a healthy way to just, you know, exploit the technology without ads, without arguing, without memes, without gifts and celebrities, and just people could have they could create meaningful, organic, authentic conversations about their art, about themselves. They could team up, game, carpool to events, and it's worked.
And it's all in one spot.
Yeah, and it's all in one spot. You don't pay for anything. There's no membership stuff. I mean, we've got recipes. We've got carpooling. There's karaoke. There's levels to it.
A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Variety is the spice of life.
While talking with the Swarmies, they said, you know, it'd be really cool if we did a Swarmy Fest.
It was really their idea.
And it was just, you know, it was kind of a joke at first.
And now it's real, and we're doing it November 5th in Manchester, New Hampshire, at Club Jewel.
Yes.
And this whole thing is driven by the fans.
Yeah, people are flying out. People are booking
Literally,
hotels.
they're flying out like a bunch of wasps.
We're you know, I mean, we've been putting together, and the fans have been putting it together. They've really been it really is a 3-day weekend. We're gonna like go fucking glow bowling and like laser tag or something. Some of these people like flew in. So, you know what I mean, we're gonna make sure that we're hanging out with people.
Yeah.
So
VIPs especially, they're gonna get some like special.
we're gonna bring them to
treatment.
like a secret band practice and like do all new material and like
Hell
make
yeah.
popcorn, smoke, like just meet everybody. What
Take
that's
pictures together.
and that's
Sounds
what's cool about
familiar.
being in a band of our size is that we can still get around and do what we're doing and still get to know every fucking single one of our friends and family and fans and people that are excited to publicly support us. Like we pull them right out of the line with us, man.
That's fucking, again, like, we're on a much smaller scale, I would say. We have, like, our groups are much smaller and everything like that. By the way, big ups on 10K in a little group over COVID. That's not something small to, you know what I mean? But we do little things like inviting our Patreons and our Discord server people out to these private shows at our jam spaces where we just hang out and have some hot dogs, listen to our, our music.
Dude,
and
I would
blah,
rather
blah,
be in
blah.
front of 15 people that are there, that know why they're there. If there's 10 people that know why they're there and they're there to see you. This is why we don't play a lot of the big, we don't take on a lot of the big festival projects and stuff like that because, I mean, there's something heartbreaking about having to play in front of 60,000 people that aren't really there to see you. And a lot bands like us that've been around for so long, we've already gotten paid in exposure before, and we know what it amounts to, and it doesn't amount to longevity. You can't play the stamina game by getting paid in exposure.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
you've done a good job though at creating a community though, and I gotta say, we got a lot of Swarmy homies in the chat, like just going off, like just.
Bro, that's heavy.
It's probably one of the most active chats that we've had in a while, and they're all swarming it up right now. So like, I'm just gonna say, I think With Conviction is standing swarmies right now. So thank you guys for all the chats and stuff. That's good.
No, they're the real thing, man. They
yeah.
really are. And this is something really weird. I don't know if you ever want to try this with your band, but so at our Patreon level, we have these. What the hell? Is that Mr. Goodbars?
Bars.
It is. That's what it says.
Bars.
That is the weirdest thing.
He's here.
So that's
Is this
really
the
cool.
rapper you were talking about earlier? Your
man,
synth
that's
player?
Word.
Yeah, it really
Keyboard
is.
player in the house.
What up?
Word.
We got a full
Yeah.
house in here. I love it.
So there's this thing that we do. So we have this secret group called the Hive, much like this Patreon groups will have. But we were talking about the recording process, and one thing I think is really funny is we don't have anything. Meaning we don't have anything fancy that we do. There's no we don't have any like tricks or funny modern day computer stuff that we do to make our music. It really is just however many tracks. It's usually under about 15 tracks. If we do backup vocals, we keep it very condensed. We don't do a lot of guitar layering. What we do is a lot of practicing before we get to a recording. What we do is a lot of preparation, and we definitely try to play the music and become as familiar with the music prior to having a recording. But this allows us to make our recordings really small.
AJ is literally dying over there. He's trying not to pull a Family Guy Peter Griffin. Doo-doo. He's trying. I can see it when and then me and Keelan are smiling, and I was like, he's trying so hard.
But that's the process.
AJ.
We try to be minimalist with it, and we open that up to people. So we're recording the music in front of the Patreons, in front of our fans, and they allow us to make adjustments. They can talk about our music when we hit bad notes, when we fart out on something, if something's really truly unattractive. We actually get to hear it. We get to hear feedback in real time. Sometimes they even comment on cymbal choices or just parts that should go longer. So we are actually a band that you can actually come in and be a part of.
You can contribute to the like that's actually really interesting.
So that's something that's as deep as it gets. That's as far as we've gone with it. And we've been having fun with it, man. And for us, it's all about doing things for the right reasons. I think originally we were concerned about being metal. I think like a lot of bands originally we were concerned in playing with celebrities and meeting, but we've had breakfast with these people. We've lifted their gear. We've even been on playing and opening up with some of these people, and we've learned over time that it's much more valuable to just be yourself.
Yeah, no, respect. For real. I mean, fuck. I have a quick question for Melissa. Now, you got my brain going off about the live stream while recording thing. Melissa, so I'm the singer in my band, And I would be way too self-conscious about oh yo, what up? I would be way too self-conscious about recording my vocals in front of my audience for some reason. I'm like I could not do that. Is that nerve-wracking to you, or is it just like, are you pretty cool and pretty chill about that?
Well, to be honest with you, we go live in the Hive a lot, which is like our special little secret Patreon group.
Yeah.
And I do exactly that. I make funny noises and do all that stuff while recording, and they get to see all of my mistakes. And it's good actually because I like the feedback.
And I think sometimes it can be kind of like, it can be tense. And it can, but I mean,
it can also push me to do better.
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
she's got this other thing. Well, Melissa just does shit that people don't do because we're so influenced and we're so encouraged by auto-tune machines and making perfect music and everybody being so fucking perfect all the time and every picture and every selfie. I think we forget about what humans look like and sound like and smell like and feel like. And there's something that Melissa's done that's really blown my mind lately, and that's the Songbird Challenge. She does this thing, and I've heard good things, I've heard bad things, and believe me, no one's heard more good things or bad things about Melissa's voice than me. But what I will say is that Melissa's had great nights on stage, and like myself, nights that could have been better. What I will say is that Melissa's a real woman, a real human being, a real friend, and a real hard worker, and a great singer. And she has a great fan base and a very honest approach to creating. She's done this Songbird Challenge thing, which I've never seen any female vocalist or modern day vocalist do. Not really at her level. That she does covers where the fans can choose the song. It can be a complete fucking bomb. So and you can imagine. So she does a vote, and she puts out like 10, 15 different choices that are fan driven. And of course, fans pick the worst shit because they want you to sing,
of course,
horribly. You know what I mean? So what more fun would it be, to have an opportunity to have, Melissa, sing one of your songs, right? So and it can be anything. She says anything in the world, fucking show tunes, rap songs, whatever you guys got. And for
even
weeks,
other local bands.
Yeah, even other local bands.
You know what? Now that you mention it, I think Larry has definitely tagged a whole bunch of bands in some of those posts for one of those challenges.
And this shit is fucking hard.
Yeah.
We were talking about being a vocalist earlier. You guys want to talk about some shit I won't do? This. You ain't gonna see a William Savant challenge. I'm not doing it because it's fucking embarrassing. But this lady here
made me sing Ozzy.
Listen, she did Ozzy and Dio back to back. Now look, and she doesn't change keys. She's not we're not down pitching shit. We're not going into the DAW. There's no tracks. There's no pitch shifting. There's no microphones. There's no bands. It's her and the fucking cell phone in a wall, and she just has to hit the one of the more challenging parts of the song.
That's literally terrifying. Like literally terrifying.
I hate watching it. And as you can imagine, people say, her last video, the last video at 350,000 views on it. And I mean, and you got from one comment was like, you fucking suck. And then the next comment was like, you're the most beautiful singer I've ever met. And the next one was like straight trash and poop signs and angry faces. And it was like 350,000 fucking views later. And I said, but you did something that a lot of people won't do. You got up as a human being, a physical, organic, fucking bio protein fucking mass. And you vibrated to the rest of the world without fucking computers and robots and fucking AI, and you do it not just once, you put yourself consistently out there every week for people to throw tomatoes and fucking rocks at you, and you don't ever fucking give up.
So the Songbird Challenge is literally just me, my voice, and my phone.
No compression, no mics, no reverb.
I make a simple 30-second reel because that's all Facebook allows me to make.
Right, or the SWAT team will kick the door in.
So I make these little 30-second videos on whatever song they want me to sing. Just me and my phone.
And the fans have to vote. She can't. There's nothing she can do. She can't like get herself out of it. They pick the
There's
song.
no microphone.
And whatever it is, and the deal is whether she screws up or not. Now Melissa has a particular voice, so to have a particular and unique, timbre as you have.
Yeah, no trust.
To take on some of these songs are just completely right out of what I would ever write or we would ever.
Right.
So but
and you don't know until you're like in the song being like, oh crap, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hit that note.
Right.
Well, let's try. And then you're like, and you're like, well, that didn't work, but we'll keep going.
And I think you've had some good ones, and I think you've had some
yeah.
bad ones. But that's what it is, and it's the Songbird Challenge. And what I think what I was hoping for is I was hoping to see more singers try it.
Well, I'm feeling a little inspired. I'm not gonna lie, but we'll see.
But the goal is. Let me make it perfectly clear. I don't think the goal is like hitting notes or being cool.
It's not to be perfect.
I think the goal is to put your ego on the fucking table.
Yeah.
And to say I'm not perfect, and I'm gonna take something on that's bigger than myself, and if everybody thinks I'm not perfect, fuck them.
I need some life lessons in that department. Let me tell you what, like the ego.
You find out who your real friends are too.
Oh, for sure.
These guys are my real friends. We're all good. They'll love me anyways. They know. They get it. You know what I mean? They're like, Sabian.
Well, your friends at band practice have already watched you make a complete fool out of me.
Exactly. In fact, even sometimes, and they'll tell you straight up, like, I asked them to leave for me to record vocals because I'm still so sensitive about that. And so hearing you, Melissa, saying that, yeah, I'm willing to just put myself out there in front of all these people as well, not even just my own bandmates, people that I see 3 times a week, you know what I mean, the people that I love and have spent a lot of years with, but just randoms, right? That's so scary to me. And so I'm not saying publicly here that I will hop in and do one of these Songbird challenges, but I might, like, next time somebody asks me to cover Linkin Park, I might just say okay instead of no, because that literally happened recently. They're like, hey, we're playing this festi together. Do you want to fucking cover a Linkin Park song with me? And I like shied away from it, even though I had an entire like 2 months to learn it and everything. I was like, no.
Give it a try. Give it a try. You might even be good at it. You might discover something that you never thought or even knew that you had in you. So
I think it's more important, like especially in today's world where like kids and people like literally don't get to hear human voices anymore.
It's
I mean, I mean that's if nothing else, that's the contribution.
I'm a producer. I'm a producer in our band, so I know all the little tricks, and we do have computers, and we do have a bunch of things to make things sound egg salad, egg salad, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But it's like like just having nothing.
And there's plenty of that music out there. And that's the best part is there's so much of that music out there. There's so many of those TikTok videos. There's so many of perfect, filters and faces and makeup videos and gymnastics. And I think the big takeaway here is Melissa had the courage to do something that wasn't perfect. And that's really different than what you're seeing right now. Because I think we kind of forgot what food tastes like and what girls smell like and what voices sound like. And it's nice every now and then to remember that, you know what I mean? We've turned music and the experience of music into such a product where we're just chasing our tails all the time and taking pictures of ourselves and wanting to be worshipped and celebrating ourselves. And when something isn't perfect, when the strand of hair is in your face, God forbid if the fucking wind blows now. You know what I mean? And I gotta say, there's not a lot of young women that get online without makeup or without an auto tune or without being fucking perfect. And Melissa seems to do that over and over again. And to me, that's closer to being perfect.
And you know what, Melissa, you're human. You as a human, you're beautiful, and you have a beautiful human voice. So fuck it. Who gives a shit? You know what I mean? Go out there, do your thing.
You're so sweet. Thank you.
Right. It's not to take away from nobody else. I want to make that clear. But it is to say that we offer something different.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Look, we're getting near the end of our hour, unfortunately, because I feel as though we could probably talk for another 2 hours and be fine. But I did want to give Larry the opportunity to ask one more question before we wrap up today, because I'm sure he probably at least prepared 3, but I'm guessing there's probably more.
I got 2 more questions.
You got 2 more? Well, Larry, pick the best one question, okay? Because we're going to have to wrap up pretty soon. Half of us are going to have to leave.
All right. So, Melissa, on one of your posts, you had said that you wanted the smaller local bands and stuff, and you followed every single one of them. Have you listened to any of the bands, or did you just like them?
Yes, of course I do. I even I made a Spotify playlist just for this reason. So if you go on Spotify and you look for the playlist called Wolfpack Picks, and Wolf is spelled with an E at the end of Wolf, you will see my entire playlist that is filled with mostly people that have played with us or have been part of that list. People might have tagged them in one of those posts that you mentioned. And that is my way of giving back to them and like getting people to listen to them.
The amount of people that send Melissa stuff, it takes hours for her to go through. And I've watched her do it, and I'm not saying that I'm as noble as she is.
Well, I'm still listening to Less Than Human, which is WthCnvctn's latest single, which came out last week. But you take a look at how many bands I tagged, WthCnvctn being one of them. I will sit there and be like, how many bands do you want? Here's some, you want more. And just tag bands I think deserve that recognition.
Larry is a curator of all that is underground. He just knows for some reason. I think he's thirsty for new things that are happening in the metalcore and the hard rock scene, and he just finds them somehow. Like I'm
your guy too, Larry.
Yeah.
If you can find me, William, I'm really kind of a collector of sorts too. I love collecting, and listening and to discovering.
I'm always looking for new
the
bands.
More unique, the more authentic, the most hardworking folks. Send them my way, man. I love to support as much as I can, and please, anybody that's listening, if you have a band, if you have a talent, if you have something cool, maybe you're not pro, it doesn't have to be pro. Short of karaoke, man, if you love doing it and it makes you happy, and that's how you express yourself. If you want a place to share your stuff, you can share it on our Discord. We have a place for that, and you can share it on our group, The Swarm. Anybody is encouraged to get your start there. Find our fans. Our fans are the nicest people. They'll listen to your music. They'll give you feedback. They're just as authentic as us. So, Larry, feel free to share some of your favorite bands in The Swarm. I'm sure a lot of people would like to discover that, too.
Hell yeah.
Oh, trust me.
Too. Thank you.
Trust me, if I share, I think it'd be like WthCnvctn, Siren.
The fact that we're all sharing names is what's really beautiful. The fact that there are
names out there.
There are more people doing what you're doing now, Larry, than there ever has been, and I couldn't be happier, honestly, with that. That energy is perfect, and it's what rock and roll, it's what music needs right now.
Yeah.
It's what neighbors need. There's a lot of celebrities and rich people, and those people are doing their thing, but really, the working bands and our neighbors, that are invested in on a neighbor level and on a community level, man, that's where we're at.
Hell yeah. Well, shit, guys, everybody.
I appreciate y'all, man. And look at Good Bars upstairs. He did all right, man.
Yeah, Good Bars. Say something, dog.
Hey, what up, y'all? What's good with y'all?
Man.
What up?
You got that mic beautifully compressed. It sounds sexy.
That microphone is crazy. I was like, wow.
Appreciate that, y'all. Appreciate that. That's the antelope.
Okay, I gotta ask one more question before we call it a day, okay? And I ask this to every single international, which has been like 3 realistically, guests we have on the show. Do we sound super Canadian? Do we sound like South Park Canadian to you guys?
Not to me at all.
Not that I know of.
Hold on, I gotta hear my man upstairs though. What's my man with the TV? He didn't say nothing up there. He's so quiet.
What, me? Me here. Where do I hop in? You guys are all saying all the good stuff. You know what can I add? Realistically, no.
Well, fucking earates there, bud. Let's fucking just send her off with a fucking good one today. Thanks for joining the With Conviction show. We appreciate you so much.
Oh,
Thank
we
you
like
so
to
much,
see
man.
it. We love to see them.
And to
Love
the
to see 'em on
swarm,
the
to the
show.
swarm in the comments, guys, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. And
Absolutely.
yeah, we'll be on next week with another special guest, Brody from Fall of Earth, the homies, and yeah, fuck. Today has been awesome. It has been awesome meeting you guys. Take care of yourselves. Have an awesome day. Okay.
Much love,
Yo,
guys.
thank you guys
Thanks
so
for
much.
having us.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.
Spill your mouth along with all the things you think you know about me. I'm such a death hearing all about how I'm less than deserving, less than a human being. You can say what you want, and you know that I hear it. Loose lips sink ships, where's your captain now? Well, my head's in a vice, and you're pulling it tighter. Say hello to the martyr in me.